Glad to join us right here on Luntha television. It's time for news and with me, Charity Janaka. First, a look at the top stories.
Pope Francis says God's power is made perfect in weakness. ACB blames on resource constraints for the delayed prosecution of corruption cases. Flash floods hit Karunga and Nkorokorate streets. And in international news, Tshisekedi willing to meet Kagame over Eastern DRC violence.
And many more stationed. Pope Francis has urged the faithful to accept and embrace weaknesses as the power of Christ will set them free for a more generous love of others. He suggested this during his weekly general audience on Wednesday morning in the Vatican's 460 Hall as he continued his catechization series on virtues and vices this week, examining envy and vainglory. We have a Vatican News report read by Herbert Katanda.
Given the Pope's recent flu-like symptoms, the Holy Father opted for an official of the Vatican Secretariat of State, Monsignor Filippo Campanelli, to read his remarks on his behalf, as he has done for the Holy Father on other occasions. Speaking first about envy, the Pope recalled the scene, even as eerie as in the story of Cain and Abel, proved to be a destructive force fueled by resentment towards others that often leads to deadly hatred. At envy's basis, the Holy Father suggested, is a relationship of hate and love, saying one desires the evil for the other, but secretly desires to be like him. The remedy to envy, the Pope suggested, lies in loving one another with brotherly affection, competing in esteeming one another. He concluded by saying, the glory, which is excessive or ostentatious pride, especially in one's achievements, is marked by an inflated self-esteem and a craving for constant praise, frequently prone to using other people for one's own ends. The Holy Father pointed out goes hand in hand with the demon of envy, saying both vices are characteristic of a person who aspires to be the center of the world.
The Anti-Corruption Bureau ACB told members of the Legal Affairs and Government Assurances Trust Committee of Parliament that it needs additional funding that will smoothen their operations. The Bureau is cited lack of resources to invite witnesses to testify in court as some of the challenges are leading to slow progress of corruption cases. This came out during the Bureau's meeting with the committee to review the budget allocation that is made towards the operations of the Bureau. Our reporter Brennan Manza was there in our reports.
During the meeting at the Parliament building in Lilongwe earlier today, Machinga Likwenu legislator Bright Msaka expressed concern that there is no tangible progress on most high-profile cases, which raises questions if the Bureau is really serious to fight corruption. He said the adjournments that are mostly pronounced in courts are worrisome as the country tries to end corruption. ACB Director General Martha Chizuma said in most circumstances the Bureau is failing to meet the desired public expectations because there is a slow disbursement of funds by the Accountant General for the Bureau's daily activities, which makes it hard for them to operate smoothly.
We have not received more than 1 billion of what we are supposed to have received in this financial year 23 to 24. So that's 1 billion in form of fuel, 1 billion in form of allowances for prosecutors, for investigators, for them to go out and investigate the cases. So the impact is quite huge because in terms of percentage, we have only received about 68% of our funding. It means that we have not received 34, and that 34 is the cases that people are complaining about that we're not investigating or going around to prosecute the cases.
Chairperson of the cluster committee, Dr. Albert Mbawala, asked Treasury officials if they can have a special consideration to provide resources to ACB in specific times of such cases. Treasury officials who were present during the meeting said the plea is valid and that it is doable, adding that they will sit down with ACB to see possibilities. In the current budget, ACB has been allocated 8.6 billion kwacha against its proposed allocation of 10.8 billion kwacha. However, the Bureau says the funds are not enough and that they have deficits of about 942 million kwacha for salaries, 200 million kwacha for Director General's vehicle, 1 billion kwacha for construction of ACB offices, and 60 million kwacha for rentals. The committee has assured the Bureau that it will lobby for the extra resources, bearing in mind the crucial role that ACB has.
They are valid type of proposals for the additional resources. We're looking at the issue of the DG's vehicle, the issue of the development of 1 billion for their offices. That is very critical. I think we need to have them have their own offices. Rentals are expensive and the space they have is very small compared to the number of staff they have.
Meanwhile, the Bureau has expressed optimism that some high-profile cases that have stalled will commence soon, with hope that judgments will be pronounced before the year ends. This is Bernard Manza.
The Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry, MCCCI, praised the endorsed 2023-2024 national budget. Despite reservations about certain budget aspects, MCCCI acknowledges that the fiscal budget theme reflects the government's dedication to revitalizing the economy. Jacqueline Saidi has filed this report.
The Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry, MCCCI, praised the 2024-2025 national budget recently presented in Parliament. In a written response, the Confederation commended the government for identifying agriculture, tourism and mining as key sectors with the potential to enhance productivity and export capacity. However, in the same response, it was suggested that manufacturing should also be prioritized for its contribution to import substitution goals. The MCCCI appreciates the budget's incentives, such as import duty and reduced excess tax on various commodities aimed at increasing import substitution. The 2024-2025 fiscal budget, valued at 5.98 trillion kwacha, focuses on transitioning from economic recovery to resilience through accelerating production and enhancing the legal and regulatory environment to protect the economy. For Luntha Television News, this is Jacqueline Saidi.
A pharmaceutical company specializing in hospital drug manufacturing, Breast GVS, has shown optimism in Kamuzu Central Hospital's efforts to prevent drug theft. Gifted Ngumvela, the marketing manager of the company, conveyed this confidence while presenting a donation of various drugs to the hospital today. The hospital's nursing administrator, Dodieka Kambogo, expressed gratitude, emphasizing the timely nature of the donation. Robert Elwood with the details.
The contribution, valued at 30 million kwacha, comprises malaria drugs and vital medications like antibiotics, Gifty Jingomvera, the marketing manager at Breeze GVS Pharmaceuticals, stated that this act is a manifestation of the company's corporate social responsibility, recognizing the difficulties referral hospitals encounter.
Okay, I've donated a number of medicines. We are starting with our anti-malaria. I've donated Lonia tablets, Juicenet, that is additional injectable, and I've also donated the painkillers, our brand for Lofnac tablets, Lofnac suppositories, and I've also donated some cough syrups. And apart from that, I've also included some syringes and the normal saline fluids. Okay, the donation is worth 30 million budget.
And your expectations?
So our expectation is, as we have stated, we do hear about things like privileges in hospitals, but we do rely that here at Kamuzu Central Hospital, being the referral hospital, I think there are measures we should have put in place so as to protect drug theft.
In her role as the nursing administrator at KCH, Dolika Kambugu expressed dissatisfaction with the insufficient supply of drugs at the facility. While acknowledging the support from the Ministry of Health, she emphasized that it is insufficient, making the donation timely.
We appreciate, we are excited with the gift. It is really timely because, as you can see, this season of malaria, we can have these drugs, but they will not be enough. So you're coming, it shows that you are together with us, you are giving us good support. So ours is a word of appreciation for that.
Currently, the hospital handles over 1,000 patients daily, and a majority of them need essential medication. While Breeze GVS traditionally donates pharmaceuticals to KCH each year, their attention shifted to the southern region last year due to Cyclone Freddy. For Luntha, this is Robert Edward.
You're still watching news on Luntha television. We'll be back after this short break.
Dar School of Public Health, Malawi, in collaboration with NIPA Zambia, invites you all for academic inquiries and students' registration in public health.
Luntha TV is now on Zuku Channel 51. You can get yourself a Zuku decoder from the Luntha TV offices in Area 2, Lilongwe, and from all the St. Manford bookshops across the country in Kasungu, Lilongwe, Salima, Dedza, Balaka, Zomba, Mulanje, Blantyre, Chikwawa, Mwanza, and Mangochi. For more information, contact 0883 815 055 or 0996 892 965. Get a Zuku decoder today and not miss daily mass, worship and prayers, news bulletins, and so much more on Luntha TV, bringing wisdom into your home.
Remember, you're watching news right here on Luntha television. Now a reminder of the top stories.
Pope Francis says God's power is made perfect in weakness. ACB blames on resource constraints for the delayed prosecution of corruption cases. Flash floods hit Karonga and Nkorokota districts. And in international news, Tshisekedi willing to meet Kagame over Eastern DRC violence.
Moving on, the Department of Disaster Management Affairs (DODMA) has reported that Nkorokota and Karonga districts have been affected by flash floods. According to DODMA, a preliminary report from Nkorokota District Council states that Luangwa experienced avalanche that led to the flooding of Luangwa and Kaombe rivers, thereby affecting surrounding areas. We have more in this report.
In a statement signed by Commissioner for Disaster Management Affairs Charles Kalemba, DODMA says the floods have damaged roads and bridges that have hindered essential service delivery in Nkorokota district. Kalemba says they moved quickly to work with the affected council in deploying a search and rescue team to carry out life-saving interventions, conduct rapid assessments and provide basic needs to affected communities. In Karonga, the district council has reported that 619 households have been affected, International Authority Kiongo, following the swelling of the North Rukuru River. A total of 38 houses have been completely damaged, while over 100 have been partially damaged. The department says there are still threats of fresh flash floods, as the area is still experiencing heavy downpour. Meanwhile, DODMA has provided maize flour, beans, bells, blankets and plastic sheets to communities affected by floods in Karonga. The department has since urged communities in flood-prone areas that are experiencing heavy rains to take heed of flood warnings and move to safer and higher areas.
The Forestry Department is urging Balaka District to ensure the survival of trees planted this year, aiming to save lives from the impacts of deforestation and climate hazards. Deputy Forestry Officer Ted Kamori emphasized this during the launch of Balaka District 2024 tree planting exercise at Kachinga Police Station. The district aims to plant 1.5 million trees this year. Our reporter Rashida Matandika from Balaka with the details.
The goal and mission, according to Teddy Kamoto, is to have enough trees in all districts and communities so that they balance up with the ones that are cut down for people's use, because trees are crucial in people's lives every day.
At the department, we have a number of strategies. You know, when you look at charcoal is the end product. So the approach that we are doing is to make sure that we go beyond simply just confiscating charcoal, but making sure that the people understand why it is important to have trees standing, not only converted into charcoal. So that's the message that we're going out there with, so that people, because if you plant more trees, then utilization should not be an issue. We shouldn't worry with utilization. We are worried because when you look at the amount of trees that we are using versus the trees that we are planting, there's no balance. So we are having our trees diminishing year in, year out. And looking at the challenges that we are facing today, which are climate related, we believe we have contributed this. This is the problem that we have made ourselves. So we believe with a change of attitude, a change of thinking, we should be able to reverse this.
He further said they believe the trees will build resilience to the people of Balaka and advised that forestry officers should help people embrace innovations when planting and protecting them, because climate change is real. In his remarks, the District Commissioner for Balaka, Tamanya Harawa, said they are inclined to protect the planted trees so that more trees survives. He said the district is working hand in hand with local leaders to make sure that they understand the need to protect the trees, and bylaws are also in place.
Yes, as a district we have the bylaws in OTS, And what is only remaining now is we find means of how we can enforce those bylaws, which I'm sure the call that we are making today has reached the right ears that the TA will actually act on that. As an office, we also take an initiative to reach out to all TAs to make sure that we enforce our bylaws.
The Deputy Director of Forestry also said that the fines that are given to people that are found guilty of destroying the environment are not meant to collect revenue for government, but helping in protection of the natural resources in the country and help people understand the importance of these resources in their lives and others. Rashida Matantika, Luntha TV, Balaka.
The news: the Democratic Republic of Congo DRC President Felix Tshisekedi has expressed his willingness to meet with his Rwandan counterpart Paul Kagame to address the ongoing instability in the eastern DRC. This statement came during Tshisekedi's visit to Angola, where he met with Angolan President Joao Lourenço in the capital Rwanda. We have a BBC report read by Helbert Katanda.
Angola's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Tete Antonio, reviewed this development following a meeting between Lourenço and Tshisekedi. Antonio said that Lourenço, acting as the mediator appointed by the African Union, had engaged in discussions with both Tshisekedi and Kagame during the 37th AU Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Angola has been tasked with facilitating the meeting between the two leaders, although specific dates have not yet been mentioned. The mediation efforts stem from the need to address the recent escalation of conflicts in the eastern DRC, particularly involving the M23 rebels, and to restore relations between the DRC and Rwanda. The DRC has accused Rwanda of backing M23 rebels, an accusation Kigali denies. The rebel group, which resurfaced in the late 2021, has triggered conflicts and humanitarian crises and seized major strongholds on Congolese soil.
That item also concludes our today's bulletin, but before we go, a recap of the top stories.
Pope Francis says God's power is made perfect in weakness. ACB blames on resource constraints for the delayed prosecution of corruption cases. Flash floods hit Karonga and Nkoroboraje streets. And in international news, Tshisekedi willing to meet Kagame over Eastern DRC violence.
It's been Charity Shilanga. Thanks for the praise of your company and goodbye.